Hey up, how we all doing? Good to see you. Welcome back to another watch along, another night of football. Tonight we've got Pisa against Lazio in Serie A. The game is currently delayed for what I can only assume is water. I can only assume it's an issue with drainage or an issue with I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. It's absolutely bouncing it down in Pisa. It is absolutely bouncing it down. There really is not an awful lot more to say about that. It is absolutely teaming it down, and the officials are just having a little look. I hope we've got a game tonight. I'm really hoping we have. I'd be gutted if we haven't. It's yeah, it's going to be a big decision from the referee to see whether we're actually going to play at the Arena Garibaldi in Pisa. It looks like we are. The players are about to kick off. Hopefully it's on. I think it should be. It should be okay now. And how are we all doing anyway? How are we all doing? How's life? How's everything going? Thursday night, a beautiful Thursday. And we're underway. Finally, we're underway in Italy. They finally got us underway here. So let's get the scoreboard going. There we go. Right, what are we saying? How are things, Alex? Yeah, good, mate. Good. Yeah, how's things with you, man? Key, are you watching FA Cup over the weekend, mate? Possibly. Yeah, possibly. I think over the weekend we've got most of it is Premier League footy, so I might catch a bit of the FA Cup, but I don't think I'm doing any live watch-alongs of the FA Cup. Yo, Taylor, how's it going, man? Pisa in the dark blue, black and gold strip. Juan Cuadrado tonight for Pisa. You can watch it, by the way, it is live on DAZN, DAZN. You can watch it on there, that's where I'm watching it right now. So yeah, you can watch it on DAZN. Pisa against Lazio. It's basically the only footy that's on tonight, I think. There's not really an awful lot else going on. Yeah, that's it. There's no other footy on tonight anywhere. So Pisa against Lazio was our only choice. Key should do a watch along of Luton versus Forest Green tomorrow. Tomorrow I am doing Coventry, Wrexham against Coventry. But yeah, Luton and Forest Green will be a good game too, won't it? Yeah, they've had a good start to the season. But yeah, Pisa are one of 4 teams in Serie A at the moment that haven't won a game of football all season. It's been a difficult start to the season. Gilardino, the manager, Alberto Gilardino, you might remember from his time at AC Milan, and he was all over the place, wasn't he? He was at Fiorentina, he was at a few places, Gilardino. But it's not been a great start to the season for them. They've got Cuadrado on the left. They've got Nzola, who is, I think, their top scorer this season. Marin in midfield. And Caracciolo, the captain. Obviously, they're the kind of star players for Pisa tonight to be looking out for. For Lazio, obviously, it's a little bit... People know the Lazio team. There's quite a few high-profile players, and obviously Maurizio Sarri managing the team, who we know from his time at Chelsea. Guendouzi in midfield, I think, has been a really, really good signing for them from Arsenal since he's come in. Cancellieri, I think, is the top scorer still, and Zaccagni as well. Zaccagni and Isaacson have been really good. Boulaye Dia I've not seen an awful lot of for Lazio this season. Key, what was your opinion on Slot's team selection yesterday, mate? I think it's the right decision. I think he had a decision to make. And he could have either gone very strong and decided, well, what we're going to do is we're going to prioritise ending this run of defeats, and we're going to, really go and, have a go at Crystal Palace and try and somehow get back in front and maybe, get through to the quarter-final. He could have done that. But I think then you risk Aston Villa, you risk Real Madrid, you risk injury to a squad that's already stretched. To me, I think he had to choose one or the other. He had to choose the Carabao Cup or he had to choose the Premier League, and he chose the Premier League. Prime Premier League, can we play you every week, please? Absolutely you can. Yeah, absolutely. We'll take that, no problem. We'll take playing Palace every week. To be fair, you played well in spite of the kids that were on the pitch. In spite of the kids, I thought you played quite well. Pino was Pino's a really, really good signing for you lads anyway. Prime, if we only played Liverpool and Villa, we would be top. LA, yeah. If me aunt had a dick and all that sort of stuff. Alex, you're watching the tennis. Nice. Prime, what about the other 2 times we played you this year, kids? Well, no. Obviously, look, you've beat us. You've had the little, I've had the Indian sign over us this year. You needed a last-minute, unjustified winner at Selhurst Park, and you needed a penalty shootout at the Community Shield. So, well done. Congrats. Like I said, it's gonna mean an awful lot more to you than it does to us. We're not asked about the Community Shield. We're not asked about the Carabao Cup. So, get great. Enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it. Absolutely. You love it. You've got to rebuild yourself next season, obviously, with Glasner going, Gay going. So it's going to be a difficult time for Palace next season. Prime Premier League unjustified. We had literally more shots, and your keeper got man of the match while losing. More shots. Sorry, I forgot. More shots means better. More shots means better. Like I said, it was 1-1 in the 96th minute, mate. So you was that good. You absolutely battered us. 1-1 in the 96th minute. So yeah, you did well. Fair play to Palace. And to be honest, anyone can beat anyone in a one-off game, can't they? Anyone can beat anyone in a one-off game. Prime Premier League, Glasner going nowhere next year, lad. Has he signed that contract yet? Is it just the 7 months left on his contract? I thought it was. Yeah. Thought it was. Hey, good luck. Like I said, when you've got when you've got Big Ange in next season, when you've got Ange Postecoglou managing you next season, and Gay's gone to a proper club, hey, then it'll be hey lads, hey, you'll be struggling again. Palace will be down there. You'll be after Neil Warnock again, you lads. You'll be knocking. You'll get Gabor Kirai back in. T, don't you think every cup should be taken seriously though? Why do people dismiss certain cups? Because I think you have to prioritise, mate. Because no team has ever successfully won all 4, have they? No team has ever successfully won all 4. Every top team. Apart from your Palaces, obviously. Apart from your Crystal Palaces, where it's like it's their Wembley, isn't it? It's their cup final. That's great for them. But for the top teams, the big clubs, that's when you rotate in the Carabao Cup. You rotate your team, and that's what Liverpool have always done. It's what we did under Klopp. It's what we've done under Slot. It's what we did under every manager previously. It's what City did last night. It's what Arsenal did last night. We rotated heavily. Obviously, it's a lot more pronounced for Liverpool because we've got so many key players out injured as well. So yeah, I can understand that Slot's prioritising the other competitions this year. The 3 other competitions which would make a big difference to us to win. We got to the final of the Carabao Cup last year, and we played a weak team in the last round as well. You've got to remember, we played a weak team against Southampton. Prime Premier League, yeah, didn't hear that after Elise left, Eze left, Zaha left. There's a pattern there, isn't there? Top players leaving Palace, yeah. Like I said, mate, yeah, good luck to you. Good luck to Little Palace. It's all good. Good luck to you. So if Slot doesn't win anything this season and he doesn't get top 4, are you going to hold Slot accountable? Oh, of course, absolutely. You've got to hold him accountable. If he doesn't get top 4 and doesn't win a thing, then yeah, that's a horrific year. But context is everything, isn't it? Context is everything. Liverpool are 7th. We're 3 points off second. Like, we're 7th. We're 3 points off second. So, one win can change everything. And then all of a sudden, we're back in amongst it again. Prime, yeah, there's a pattern. They all left and we beat you 3 games in a row. You say that like it's upset. Mate, you beat it. Well done. Like, well done. First time you've seen silverware in your entire life. Good lad. Honestly, I am really rooting for you. It's great. Enjoy it. I remember Wigan winning. When Wigan won the FA Cup, I really thought it was brilliant when Wigan won the FA Cup as well, and Portsmouth as well. They were really good. They won. It was good. So you like to see clubs like that, don't you? Wiggins and Palaces and stuff like that. You like to see clubs like that winning it. So it's all good. I enjoy it. Enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it while you can. But I think people need to back Slot because he changed the whole team. He just needs time. That's very true. It's very, very true. Alex McLean, has Newcastle Joe been in tonight? No, I don't think he has. I've not seen him anyway. Doctor Who Mania, mate, you should keep him. Liverpool fans wanted Amorim to stay when he couldn't buy a win. Hey, we still want Amorim to stay? We still want him to stay. Stick around, keep him. We're enjoying every minute of it, and so we should. Absolutely, so you should. So you should. Enjoy it while you can, absolutely. Good for Palace. You guys aren't going to realise how bad Slot is until he knocks you out of everything. Oh, sweet Lord. ATM key, I guarantee you Palace win more silverware than Liverpool this season. Hey, they might do. Yeah, they might do. They might. Like I said, the Carabao Cup is the absolute priority, isn't it? So they'll absolutely go the distance in the Carabao Cup and the although they've got Arsenal, so maybe not. Carabao Cup and the Conference League, and the standard in the Conference League is like awful. So they might do it. They might go and do all right in the Conference League. Good luck to him. Honestly, good luck to him. But Liverpool are challenging for the big honours, aren't we? We're going for the Premier League and the Champions League, and there's notoriously slightly more harder to win than the Conference League. If you're playing PSG and Barcelona and all them teams, generally it's a little bit easier if you're playing... who was it they got beat by the other day? AEK Larnaca. Yeah. If you're playing teams like AEK Larnaca and getting beat, obviously, Ross of the Goal says it was only the Carabao Cup now, but when Klopp won it, it was a statement. Well, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Again, it's a trophy. It's nice and it's a trophy, but no one's going on a parade for the Carabao Cup unless you're like Newcastle or like Palace. Palace with the FA, no one's doing it unless it's like you've never won anything, which is basically the same situation with Palace and Newcastle. And it's good. You like to see teams like that winning. I enjoy it. Absolutely. It's good to see it. T, if Crystal Palace wins the Carabao Cup and Liverpool finish second, who's had a better season? Probably in the context of things, you'd say Palace, wouldn't you? Yeah, because that would be historic for Palace, wouldn't it? It'd be the second time in their entire history that they've won anything, whereas for Liverpool, it'd just be another sign of progress. If Liverpool were to finish second or third, that'd just be another sign of progress. Doctor Who Mania, I think getting Isak instead of Gay has disrupted the team. Ekatike has been a very solid signing, unless you want to go down the road of playing 4-4-2. We are going to go down the road of playing 4-4-2, I assure you. I absolutely assure you. We've already done it once this season, and I absolutely guarantee you that is what you put a laughing face. I absolutely guarantee you that is what we're going to be doing. That is absolutely what Liverpool end up doing. We will play with a box midfield, which is also something that Crystal Palace do, by the way. They play with a box midfield at times, and Liverpool will go and do the same. Albeit with a back four rather than a back five. Your team has no athleticism either. Well, I mean, you say that, but we're covering the same sort of distance. We're doing the same number of sprints as we did last year. So you say it like we have no athleticism. We pissed the league last year, playing effectively the same sort of, at least putting in the same numbers as we were last year. Or as we are this year, rather. So, there you go. T, how is that progress? There's no difference between finishing second or fourth. Well, there is difference. You get first off more money from the Premier League, and psychologically I think there's a fair bit of difference between finishing second and fourth, wouldn't you say? I mean, there's no difference in terms of if you just say, well, second gets Champions League, fourth gets Champions League. So yeah, if you just look at it like that, then yeah, fine. But Liverpool had no entitlement to winning the Premier League this year. No, absolutely not. Not with the players that we lost and the fact that Arsenal again spent more than us. So yeah, if you've got a team playing, keeping all the players and spending more than you, inevitably they're going to be favourites. Hey up Edward, how's it going? How's the little one, mate? Gravenberch and Sobbo are both athletic. Tell you what, we've not seen an awful lot of action in this opening sort of 15-20 minutes here. Why would someone choose second place over a trophy? Well, okay, well let's flip it the other way then. If Liverpool could choose the Carabao Cup, or sorry, you can finish second. You can finish second, or you can win the Carabao Cup and finish sixth. Which would you pick? Which would you pick? Because I know what I'd pick, and it ain't the Carabao Cup. What are we saying? Josh, do you hate Arsenal, Key? No, of course I don't hate Arsenal. Why would I hate Arsenal? How can you compare Gyökeres, Hincapié, Mosquera, Eze, Madueke to Isak, Ekatike, Wirtz, Kerkez? What do you mean comparing them? I don't know what you mean. How can you compare them? I've not compared them. I've not compared them. Alex, why do people hate us? They hate the greats, mate. That's how it is. They hate the greats. It's always the way. T, I'm taking the trophy any day because you don't get a trophy for second place. Well, to each their own. But you also I think it's quite fair to say that the Champions League, the gulf between the Champions League and the Europa League is massive, and if Liverpool didn't qualify for the Champions League, that would be abject failure. And winning the Carabao Cup wouldn't excuse that. I guarantee you the majority of Liverpool fans would seriously consider Arne Slot out if he didn't qualify us for the Champions League this year. Irrespective, if you win the Carabao Cup with that, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter one jot. Josh, who gets top 4 or 5 this year? I think Liverpool, Arsenal, City are pretty much assured of it, and then it's probably Spurs and Chelsea. Yeah, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, City in some order. I don't see anyone else really competing for it, if I'm dead honest. User 1243, in your heart of hearts, do you think a team who loses 4 in a row win the league? Well, plenty of others have. It's happened. It has happened. There's been plenty of teams, mate. Plenty of teams in the past who have gone on losing runs, whether it be 3 or 4 or whatever, who have gone on to win the league title. Barcelona did it. Barcelona did it not that long ago. Lost, I think it was 3 they lost. And then they also dropped quite a lot of points around that time. They still ended up going on and winning the league. There's plenty of others who've done it as well. So, yeah, Liverpool absolutely can recover. We're about as far behind. We're about as far behind as Arsenal were last year, really. Thomas, name a team in the Premier League that has lost 4 in a row in the league. Everton have done that dozens of times, mate. Everton, easy that. Give me an hard one. Josh, I'm an Arsenal fan and the league is very far from done. Absolutely. Agreed. Yeah. Thomas says Barcelona, of course, can do it. It's only 2 good teams. Well, you could say it's only 2 good teams in the Premier League. There's only two won it for the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years, whatever it's been, hasn't it? There's only been 2 that's won it. So, yeah, there's only 2 good teams in the Premier League, evidently. John T, I think it's more Arsenal being so defensively sound that'll make it too hard to come back. Listen, Arsenal have also got issues going forward, though, as well. That's the problem for Arsenal. If Arsenal drop points this season, it'll be in 0-0s and they'll struggle. They'll struggle when set pieces maybe don't always yield the results that they have. If they do, if they keep turning up, and they're great. I mean, they've won it. They've won it. They're the most efficient team in the league at set pieces. But the fact that they're 17th, ranked 17th in the league for open play goals, tells you an awful lot. That tells you everything you need to know. That when it comes to open play, Arsenal maybe not at it. Jordan says, just got off the phone with a very reliable Liverpool reporter. He's told me someone's been rating the youngsters' performances yesterday, 1s and 2s. Bet and twist. Jordan, Man City in that really bad patch without Rodri, they lost a few, no? Well, yeah, they lost a few with no Rodri, and obviously that they ended up losing the title, obviously. But there's been plenty of other teams who've done that over the years, who've gone on little losing spells, losing runs. And to be honest, by the way, I'm not saying that Liverpool will win the league. Don't get it twisted. Liverpool, I said before the season started, I didn't think we'd win the league. If we do, then it's been unbelievable for us. To change half your team, to have a player die in pre-season and win the league would be like movie stuff. You'd make a film about that sort of stuff. So Liverpool, again, getting outspent in the summer yet again by a team that's more settled, that hasn't won a thing in 6 years, but it's kept the same team. They were always more likely to win it. And they might do. They probably will. If Liverpool do, then great. I actually think City, to be honest, will go a lot harder than Liverpool will. This is a transitional year for Liverpool. Thomas says, and won the league, bro. Read the question in its full. You didn't say that, Thomas. I knew that's what you meant, but you hadn't typed it. And seeing as you were being facetious, I thought I would be facetious too. Shah Atkins, movie stuff, 446 million spent. Say, 446 million, still not as much as Arsenal though, is it? Still not as much as Arsenal. Papa John's, Arsenal have strength in depth and a huge advantage on points. Well, they do right now, but it's still only October. Still very early. Kane, how's it going, Kane? Good to see you. Man City in that... Oh, we done that one, sorry. Thomas, Premier League has teams that has won the Champions League in the meantime, so to only say it's 2 is intellectual. Yeah, Arsenal haven't won the Champions League, though, have they? So again, you're including Arsenal as a potential title winner, and yet you're holding up teams that have won the Champions League as great. I mean, there's a little bit of intellectual inconsistency there, Thomas. Well, Como have been knocking it long. We've not really had a clear chance in the game from either of these. Yeah, no real clear chances as yet from either. Lazio, you'd expect to win this given the fact that they are 4 games unbeaten at the minute. Torres just missed a sitter there for Pisa. You've got to put that away. You've got to put that away. Really, really poor that from Idrissa Torre. Big energetic midfielder from Luxembourg. He's got to do better. He's got to do better. User 124, United looking miles ahead of Liverpool all over the pitch. I thought that, when they were getting beat by Grimsby. I did think that at the time. Yeah, I did think that. And T says, teams are successful because of trophies, not league position, unless you're first, don't you think? No, I don't agree with that at all. I think if you win the League Cup every year, and the FA Cup, League Cup and FA Cup, but you don't qualify for the Champions League, you'll never be able to sustain it, really, because the Champions League is where the money's at. The Champions League is where the success is at. The Champions League is where everyone wants to be. So you have to have... And this is the expectation of being at a big club. Like Liverpool, for example. It's not just enough to win. You've got to win and play entertaining football. That's why what Mikel Arteta is doing at Arsenal would never be tolerated at Liverpool. It would never be tolerated at Man United. That's one thing that Liverpool and Man United fans can actually agree on. There is absolutely no way that they would accept a manager playing the way that Arsenal do right now, even if they were winning games of football. I mean, they might be slightly more willing to tolerate it right now because United haven't won a title in, 13 years? They've not won a title in a long time, so maybe because they're getting to Arsenal levels, aren't they? But I've won it in 20 plus years. I think maybe United would be really, really reluctant, though, to have a manager. It would be really questionable. United expect teams to play a certain way, and that it just doesn't wash to play the way that Mikel Arteta does with Arsenal. Dr. Woe says, if Liverpool lost the likes of Van Dijk, they'll struggle even more than they are currently. Alisson being out is a big loss. Well, it's not just Alisson, mate. It's Alisson being out. We've got no first choice right back. Frimpong's been out. Curtis Jones has impacted us massively being out. Alexis McAllister's been injured for most of the season. We've lost Gravenberch at different points. Isak obviously hasn't been fit. Ekatike has had moments where suspension and injury as well. So it's a problem for Liverpool, I think, injuries. And squad depth is definitely a concern for us. I think our first team has improved. We've made some good signings this summer. Probably more future-proofing in the fact that we've signed really young players, but inevitably when you sign players like Kirkes, Wirtz, 21, 22-year-olds, they don't come in and they're not immediately ready. You don't sign 21, 22-year-olds and immediately they're in and they're ready. It's not like Arsenal signing, say, Eze, who's, 27, 28? Eze comes in, slots straight in, he's played in the Premier League for years, no problem. Straight into the team. Gyökeres, again, 27, whatever, straight in, played in the Champions League, straight in, he can play at that level, he's played the game, he's played 3 games a week for a number of years. It's not the same, really, it's not the same intensity in Germany. Spoonie, how's it going? T, so would you rather finish second place 10 times or win the Carabao Cup 10 times? Well, I don't think either would work at Liverpool for what it's worth, but I would always rather finish second. If you gave me that as an either or, I think if a manager went 10 years without winning a thing at Liverpool, they wouldn't make it to 10 years. Even if they kept finishing second, they wouldn't make it to 10 years. You have to win things at Liverpool, and you have to be at the top level. You have to be competing in the European Cup, and you have to be doing it in a stylish way. That's just a prerequisite. As I said, for Arsenal, it makes sense because they've not won a bean in 6 years. They haven't won a championship in 20-odd years. So I can understand they're less arsed about style. They're not bothered. A win's a win. They take 1-0 every single day. I think every game this season, they win 1-0, they're happy. 1-0 off a set piece, bouncing in off Declan Rice's arse. Yeah, they'll take that, no problem. Doctor Who Mania, do you think a year out of Europe would suit Liverpool? I don't think it would suit Liverpool, but if it happens, I would still keep Arne Slot even in that circumstances. Andy, if Liverpool were to lose against Villa, Real Madrid and Man City, Slot will be sacked. Hey, that would be questionable, yeah. If we lost another 3 on the spin, then, I mean, that would indicate possibly that the players have not down tools, but, you know, something's gone seriously wrong and there would have to be some sort of an inquest about it. But I don't think he would get sacked even at that point. Jordan, need your opinion on chances of these scoring at the weekend. It's a free game, live score. Do 5 random players so far. I have Andre, Munetzi, Cucurella and Mbermo. Rate my chance of any scoring. Andre, Munetzi, Cucurella and Mbermo. Who have United got at the weekend? Nottingham Forest. And Mbermo could maybe score against Forest. Cucurella ain't scoring. Andre ain't scoring. Munetzi could. Yeah, Munetzi could. Wolves have got... Who've Wolves got this weekend? Who've Wolves got this weekend? Let's have a look. Premier League fixtures this weekend. Wolverhampton Wanderers are away to Fulham. Yeah, I mean, Marshall Munetzi could score away at Fulham. He's a centre forward. I mean, Wolves aren't doing brilliantly, but they could do. Trust them to give me 2 from Wolves. Andre as well. Andre doesn't score goals, mate. Not really. So yeah, Andre and Cucurella, I think, probably let you down there. And Mbermo and Munetzi possibly could. Jamie Berry, do you think Leeds would beat Liverpool? Listen, anyone can beat anyone on any given day, as we've seen many times this season, last season. Lazio are in. Chance. Got to finish it. Oh, big save. Well done. Really good save from the keeper, that. Massive save from the keeper. That's a great save. Brilliant save, that. What is going on here? That's getting turned off. Joseph Vickers, how's it going, man? Jordan, hopefully Cuckoo does a madness just because of the rivalry. Oh yeah, it's Spurs, isn't it, this weekend? I need to do my my predictions for this weekend's games. Got Brighton and Leeds, Burnley Arsenal, Palace Brentford, Fulham Wolves, Forest United, Tottenham Chelsea, Liverpool Villa, West Ham Newcastle, City Bournemouth, and then Monday Night Football, Sunderland Everton. Ooh, I might have to have I might do a video on that one tomorrow. I'll do a predictions video on that one tomorrow. We'll see how we go. But I think there's some big results in that, actually. Jordan says, not being biased, if we beat Arsenal and then draw City and win the thing, is that the hardest possible draw? Obviously, Liverpool team wasn't great, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, mate, listen, I'm rooting for you. If you go on and win it, good luck to you. I like Oliver Glasner. I really like the playing style that Palace have. Some fabulous players. I really like Mateta. Love Wharton. Gay's obviously fantastic. I like Lacroix. Love Munoz. Yeah, there's some real... And Pino as well. Pino's... What a signing he's been as well. So, yeah, I like Palace a lot, and I think you'll do well this season again, albeit maybe more so in the cup competitions. I actually think you've got a really good chance of winning the Conference League. And maybe that decision at the start of the season, do you know whether or not Palace are going to go in the Europa League or in the Conference League? I think it might actually benefit you that you've gone in the Conference League and you might end up winning that and therefore getting Europe again next year rather than having... If you'd have been in the Europa League like Forest, chances are you probably don't win that. But you probably do win the Conference League. You'd be the strongest side in the Conference League as long as you don't keep playing like you did against AEK Larnaca and getting beat. But hey, even Villa getting beat against Go Ahead Eagles, it just feels like Premier League teams at the minute in Europe are struggling. There's a few teams struggle this season in Europe. Eddie, hi Key, what's the odds for a goal to be scored? The odds for a goal to be scored in this game? That's a great shout, actually. Let's have a look, I'll tell you. My guess would be pretty high, to be honest, or rather pretty low odds, because Lazio, right, over 1.5 is 2.5 to 1, so over 0.5, I mean, that's not going to be much. Alternatives, alternative match goals, like 1.4, yeah, 1.4 for over a goal in the game, at least one in the game. Joseph, I'm alright, mate. How you doing? I'm good, man. Yeah, good. How are you feeling about Sunderland next week? User124 says Liverpool are currently on track to be the 5th worst defending champions in Premier League history. That's a good job the Premier League isn't done based on form and on track based in October, isn't it? It's a very good job that the title and nothing's decided in October. Eddie Allen, what channel's the game on, mate? It's on DAZN, DAZN, yeah. Joseph Viggers, I'm petrified, to be honest. Sunderland have been fantastic this season. And Everton, am I right in... I didn't realise this until the other day, but I think I'm right in saying that the only game you've actually won in your last 5 was the one where Grealish ends up tackling whoever and they score in the last minute. It was against West Ham. Was that West Ham? And you end up... Oh, no, it was Palace, wasn't it? It was Palace, last-minute winner against Palace. That's the only game Everton have won in the last 5. And you've gone out of the cup against Wolves. You've had some tough games, but a pretty poor run. Oh, off the post from Lazio. Great strike from distance. Who was that? Was that Cataldi? It looked like Cataldi, I think, with the strike. Really, really good effort. Oh, just off the post. Very, very unlucky. It was... Semper didn't get anywhere near it in the goal for Pisa. Glanced off the post and back out. Only won 1 in the last 7. Grealish winner against Palace. Yeah, 1 in the last 7s. Given Everton fans, I mean, there was. I'm not trying to ridicule, but there was talk, wasn't there, early on in the season about, do we think we could maybe get in Europe? Do we think we could... I think that's... Maybe... Oh, it was a great save, actually. What a strike and what a save that is from Semper. Deserves huge credit for that. Tips it straight onto the post. Big save. And it wasn't Cataldi, it was Basic. Yeah, it was Basic, the Croatian, with the strike from distance there. And Lazio starting to dominate a little bit more, as you'd expect them to. Pisa still without a win in Serie, I remember. Struggling to win this season, Pisa. And Lazio unbeaten in the last 4. So everyone's expecting Lazio tonight. Jake, cheers for the gift, mate. How's it going, Jake? How's life? How's things? Last time we spoke, it wasn't all that great, so I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing, man. Joseph, I was never confident we would get Europe. Fans were having far too high expectations. Well, that happens, doesn't it? That happens. Joseph, Moyes has only had one window to try and rebuild the new squad. Still improvements needed. Striker, left back and right back. Well, Mikalenko's out of contract, isn't he, this summer? So I think he might go. You definitely do need something extra up front. There was talk yesterday about Liam Delap potentially coming in on loan. Don't know how true that is, but there was certainly talk about it. Don't think Chelsea maybe would let him go just yet, but I think you definitely need something. Obviously, Richarlison, the Richarlison rumours won't go away either, will they? Jordan feels so sad for Eddie. Played well last night, injured again, and that's what we said. That's why there was no real protest one day, obviously, but if we really could, would have kicked off properly. Yeah, that's true. Doctor Who, how far do you see Liverpool getting in the Champions League? It's tough to say, mate, because at the end of the day, I've seen a Liverpool side that is as bad as any Liverpool side I've ever seen, bar Steven Gerrard. That's maybe a bit harsh, actually. We had Hippier, we had Carragher, we had Alonso, but like for the most part, we had a pretty poor Liverpool squad. Let's say squad with a smattering of 3 or 4 very, very talented players. And that Liverpool side won the Champions League against all odds. So I always have to look at the European Cup as a bit of a anything can happen sort of thing. And would I back Liverpool? It wouldn't surprise me at all if Liverpool won it this year. No. Do I think we will? Probably not. But it wouldn't surprise me if we did. So how far do I think we can go is I think we can go the distance. I think this Liverpool side has the quality and the ability to win the lot. Last season, we ended up getting knocked out by the eventual winners on penalties. We took PSG further than any other team took them. So on that basis, can we do it? Of course we can. Yeah, absolutely we can. But do I think we will? Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I think, to me, I think that it screams probably another PSG win this year. I think PSG are probably in the best place to do it. I think Real Madrid and Barcelona could also. I think Real Madrid will actually be the team that does it somehow. I think Real Madrid are just clicking into gear at the minute, and that's why I'm quite worried about next week. Real Madrid are just starting to click into gear. I thought they were really good when I watched the highlights back against Barcelona. They were different class, and Mbappe's Xabi Alonso seems to have unlocked Mbappe a little bit, and we're starting to see the best of him now. Jake struggling a bit, not going to lie, doing well though, and it's getting easier, living a nightmare at the minute. Oh, mate, listen, I mean, I know there's not an awful lot I can do from here and whatever, but anytime, get in, if you want to message me or whatever, like, yeah, let's, talk. I mean, talking on here is maybe not the best idea, but you know what I mean. Make sure you've got someone with you. Give us a kiss. Don't think that'll cheer you up, man. Joe, great win for us yesterday, pal. It was, yeah. I was surprised, actually. I thought Spurs might do you. But, yeah, it was a good result for Newcastle, that. Mason, they can have Richarlison. Honestly, he's been so bad this season, apart from the first three and against PS. But yeah, Richarlison rumours going around for ages. All I want is a clinical finisher. Richarlison was never really a clinical finisher. Richarlison reminded me a little bit of... this sounds a little bit ridiculous because Suarez is maybe the best finisher. Or maybe not the best finisher, that's a lie. But he's one of the most prolific, isn't he, of all time. But Suarez didn't always strike me as a great finisher. There was better finishers than Suarez in the Premier League. He always kind of bobbled stuff in. Suarez was just always in the right place. And there's a little bit of that with Richarlison. It always bounces in off his thigh, or he hits it into the ground and it bounces in. It's stuff like that with Richarlison. And that's really good. I'm not knocking it, by the way. But he's not a clean-cut, clinical finisher, I guess, is he? But he might be the best that Everton can muster at this moment in time. Right, well, we're nearly at half-time, still 0-0. It's been a pretty drab opening 45 minutes in the Garibaldi here in Pisa. It's been wet. Very, very wet. The pitch has held up in places. I don't think the players have... I mean, the shirts look heavy. I don't think that Lazio top is particularly conducive to wet weather. It looks like they're carrying a ton. This Lazio match has got 0-0 written all over it. And Jake, I was petrified of Suarez. No other player has done that in a Liverpool shirt. Suarez is unreal. Papa John's, this Lazio match got 0-0 written all over it. I hope not. I hope we've got a goal in it at least. Joseph, few links going round about Ivan Toney. Doubt he would go to Everton, however, reeks of a Spurs move. Well, Spurs got in Randall Kolo Muani, and I was adamant that if they could keep him fit, he's some player. But he was awful the other day. I know he's still not quite fit. He's only just come back into the side, but... oh, that's a penalty, ref! That's got to be a penalty! Oh, he's not claiming it. I was the only one claiming it. You've got to help me out, Bull idea. It's a great ball in from the right-hand side, and he just throws himself to the ground. A few Lazio players put their hands up, but it looked like he'd got dragged to the floor there, Bull idea. But yeah, Ivan Toney back to Everton. I wonder. Very boring game. I'm putting Ghostbusters on. Nothing better happen. Hey, it'll happen now. Just as soon as you say that. But yeah, we'll do our half-time quiz as well. Why not? We'll do a little half-time quiz. Keep us entertained. Joseph, right, I'm going to go now, mate. Have a good rest of your stream. Take it easy, Joe. Take it easy, man. I'll see you soon. Oh, caught on. Pisa in here. He's got a chance. Oh, the refs give a foul. I tell you what, he's very unlucky there, Nzola. Very, very unlucky. Unlucky. Oh, better. Better, better, better. Right, half-time, there you go. Pisa 0, Lazio 0. I told you this was going to be an absolute vintage classic. And it looks like we're going to be going into the second half, still searching for a goal. Pretty rubbish. However, with that said, let's have a chat about... oh, here we go. How are you going, Paul? Good to see you. Good to see you as always, mate. Hey, how's it going, Wim? Good to see you, Wim. Who are Club Brugge playing this weekend? I'm good, Paul. Yes, I am very, very good tonight, thank you. I'm feeling good. Feeling positive. Even in spite of Liverpool's recent record, I'm feeling very, very positive. And I'm looking forward to the weekend. We've got Villa on Saturday night. I keep saying it like, please let us win, but we've got to win this time, so I'm really hoping we do. William says Club Brugge, FC Dender at home. Dender. They've been a bit of a surprise package this season, haven't they, in the Jupiler Pro? How are you, more importantly, Paul? How's life? Tusich 46. Let's move on from this game and talk about Wrexham and Coventry tomorrow night. Wrexham and Coventry tomorrow night. Well, Wrexham and Coventry, we're doing the watch along. We're live for Wrexham and Coventry tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that one. Coventry flying at the top of the Championship. Do we think that either of those sides can come up? Wrexham certainly had ambitions, didn't they, coming up into the top flight? They go out against Cardiff in the Cup last night. So it was the night before, wasn't it, Wrexham? So Wrexham have gone out of the Carabao Cup to Cardiff. But I'm sure they'll still have ambitions of maybe making the playoffs. Welcome to Memeland. Dender bottom of the league. Are they? Oh, do you know who I'm thinking of? Who's the other side who got promoted? It's Lumiere, isn't it? Or Louvier. Hey, look at that. Got my little hat on. Cheers, Paul. Yeah, is it it's Louvier, isn't it? The other one. I was thinking the other promoted Belgian side. Dender at bottom of the league, yes. And not so much of a surprise package then. Yeah, let me have a look at the other one. The other ones who I was on about, the other promoted side. Because they had a couple of surprise wins, didn't they? Let me find them. Belgium, Jupiler Pro League. Yeah, Ral La Louvière, that's the one. Ral La Louvière, they got a draw away at Genk. They beat Club Brugge, that was it. They beat Club Brugge, they drew with Union SG, and they've had some decent results recently. They're unbeaten in 6 games. They've lost once in the last 8. Ral La Louvière. Right, so I am amazed by that. That can't be right. That absolutely can't be right. And it is as well, no way. Not one corner in the match thus far. Yeah, mate, it's been... I don't know how many shots on target they've actually been. How many shots on target have we had for this so far? They've smashed one off the post. That's been about it, to be honest. It's been a pretty dull game all round. 4 shots on target from Lazio. Why have I... They must have been absolute P-rollers then. Although saying that, no, because the shot counts as a shot on target, doesn't it? Because I think he did just get a touch on it onto the post. Alright, okay, fair enough. There's only really been one meaningful shot on target anyway. Honestly, Serie A was on fire in the 90s. It's so slow now. Do you know what? It's so inconsistent, Serie A, because there's some games you watch and it's better than the Premier League. Like, really, really good. I enjoy it. I think Serie A and La Liga have almost flipped a little bit, in that La Liga is now a lot more like Serie A was in the 90s, and there's more goals sometimes in La Liga games, whereas with... and there's also some bigger shocks, like you see Sevilla smashing Barcelona the other week. You see stuff like that happening more, whereas in Serie A it's gone back to being a little bit more dry, possession based. Jack the Butter Boy, is this a big game? Well, it's a big game for Lazio. They are no defeats in the last 4. They're unbeaten in the last 4. It's a big game for Pisa because they haven't won all season. They haven't won in Serie A. Cheers, Paul. Thanks very much, mate. 11 plus hub, would you say the Premier League is heads and shoulders above any other European league? Well, can't help but think I'm biased. Well, do you know what? I would say that the Premier League, if you took out... I said this the other day, someone asked me a similar question, and I think if you had the top 3 Premier League teams, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, right, and you had the top 3 Spanish League teams, you had Bilbao, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, right, you took those 3 and you put them into a mini-league, I would say the Premier League and La Liga would be a tough one. That would be a really tough round-robin tournament. Just those 6, all playing each other home and away. I couldn't predict who would win that. Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona. I don't think Atletico would win it, but any of those 5 could win that mini-league, couldn't they? Right? But if you then took the other 17 teams in La Liga and the other 17 teams in the Premier League, and you put them into a 34-team league, I am pretty confident that at the end of that season, the Premier League teams would make up maybe the top 10, top 15. Maybe not top 15. Top 10. Top 10 would be Premier League teams. G. Lawrence, Key, Wirtz and David Raya are the luckiest people ever. They both get paid to do absolutely nothing. Well, oh, hang on a second. What's this? Jake didn't expect the Turn to win Spurs yesterday. Great win. Well, yeah, and Voltamar are scoring again. Yeah. Paul, I want the boss to come back. What boss? What do you mean you want the boss to come back? Right. Listen, seeing as we're watching Serie A, let's do a little quiz, right? Let's do a little quiz. Seeing as we're watching Serie A, give me the top 20 Italians to ever play in the Premier League by number of appearances. Let me know what you're thinking. G. Lawrence Key, let's be honest, mate. Liverpool's title defence this season has been nothing short of pathetic. We're only 3 points off second. Yeah, we're only 3 points off second. And still very early doors, as you know, mate. You're an intelligent guy. You know it's still early doors. Denman, I'll buy all those shirts now, but only if Liverpool haven't lost 6 games in 7. They're not for sale. Yeah, they're not for sale. Listen, the state of them fireworks outside. Yeah, top 20 Italians. Come on, give me some names. The top 20 Italians by number of appearances in the Premier League. Jake, Di Canio is correct. Di Canio is number 4 in the list. Yeah, Di Canio. Give me some others. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, anywhere else you're watching, give me some names. Gaza Bacchus says Ravanelli. Ravanelli is not there. No. Ravanelli only had 2 seasons in the Premier League, didn't he? He was at Middlesbrough and he was at Derby. Oh, actually, hang on a second. Hey, I tell a lie. He is in the list. I've completely overlooked him. Yes, Fabrizio Ravanelli is in the list. He is number... Let's double check. Number 15. Michael, some strong Scouse accent there, mate. It's not Scouse. No, it's not Scouse. It's just outside Liverpool. From a place called St Helens. That's where I grew up. So the accent you're detecting is nowhere near Liverpool. At least in terms of Scouse, anyway. But it is. I mean, I was born in Wiston, which does have an L postcode. So, yeah, very close. Very close. All those shirts are sponsored by Carlsberg. You're right. Aquilani, no. Aquilani only had one season. Zola, yep. Vialli, yep. Jorginho, yes. Correct. No, actually, I tell you what, Ravanelli doesn't. Ravanelli doesn't. Yeah, Ravanelli doesn't. Balotelli is in the list, yeah. Balotelli is number 16. Balotelli's number 16. Lou, have you seen this Angori for Pisa, lad? He's a ball at him. To be honest, mate, none of them have really stood out tonight. I think Basic looks really good for Lazio. He's been really good. Calabrese about to come on, maybe. It's looking like for... Oh, actually, hang on. I don't know. I think he's just warming up. Pedro's also warming up. Graziano Pella, number 17. Correct. So you've got Gianfranco Zola, you've got Jorginho, you've got Paolo Di Canio, you have Balotelli, Graziano Pella, Vialli. Anyone else? Matteo Darmian, good shout, yeah. Matteo Darmian's number 18. Who else? Alessandro Pistone, ex-Everton, yeah. And Newcastle as well, Pistone. He's in there. Vicario, no. He doesn't quite make it yet. Who else? Manolo Gabbiadini. You're defo cheating with that. That's a great answer. He sneaks in at just number 20. Any others? Oh, there you go. There's the Borough fan. The Borough fan's just come in. Massimo Macaroni. He's a legend at Borough. Massimo Macaroni, number 15. He's in there. Ogbonna. Yeah, good shout, Jake. He's number 2. So you've got Zola, Ogbonna, Jorginho, Paolo Di Canio. Number 5, Benito Carboni. Good shout, Dave. And anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? No, he doesn't make... Oh, Cudicini does, yeah. Cudicini's a good shout. Cudicini's number 6. Davide Santon, a great shout. Another one, ex-Newcastle. Number 14. I think you'll struggle with some of the others, to be fair. Go on, we're nearly at kickoff, so I'll tell you the others. You're missing. Number 13 was Vito Manone. Ex-Arsenal, ex-Sunderland. Number 12 was Stefano Iranio. Ex-Derby County. 11, another Middlesbrough player, Gianluca Festa. Could have struggled with that one. Number 10, Fabio Barini. Again, he's recently just signed for Salford. He was in the news last week, wasn't he, Barini? Number 9, Roberto Di Matteo. Number 8, Emerson. There you go. Emerson Palmieri, that is, from West Ham and Chelsea. So, that is your top 20 Italians to ever play in the Premier League. Come on, Lazio. Let's have you. I've actually stupidly backed Pisa to score a goal tonight. Just to score at least one. PSL Dylan says, did you know apparently Haaland drinks raw milk? I didn't know that. I can't understand why you would drink raw milk. Maybe colostrum. Is that? Maybe it's that. Maybe it's not like. It's not raw cow's milk. Maybe he's drinking like. Maybe he's buying. I don't know. He might be buying like breast milk or something like that. But he ain't. I'd be amazed if he's drinking cow's milk. Cow's milk is just full of hormones that are bad for you. HGB, £5 on a Lazio win. Good luck to you. I'm rooting for you, mate. Pisa down the left-hand side with Quadrado. Apologies for the fireworks. There's not an awful lot I can do about that. Who's setting fireworks off at 5 to 9 on Mischief Night when it's wet outside? Get a life. Get a life. N78, get a job. This is my job. It's brilliant. I watch footy for a living. It's fantastic. G. Lawrence, thoughts on Slot speaking on the lack of LFC squad depth, Key? They've just spent 450 mil. Yeah, but we've spent 450 mil on like 3 or 4 players, haven't we? So I think that's the difference, is spending it on a low number of players to improve the first team, which was necessary. And we've done that, but we've had to sell some key squad players as well. So, yeah. Kwanzaa going, Elliott going, Diaz obviously going. We've had to sell those just to keep them going. And obviously, look, it was always a gamble. No one gets everything right every summer, and Liverpool had a choice to buy, lots of different. Well, we could buy 4 or 5 what we would consider to be difference makers, couldn't we? Or we could maybe sign 8 or 9 squad players, and we would have been better for the squad players, but we would have still had the same sort of challenges in terms of maybe finishing games off. And everyone's got 20/20 hindsight, haven't they? At the end of the day, everyone's got 20/20 hindsight. Nobody seems to. Everyone seems to know that it was the answer after the fact, but nobody thought it. Everyone I spoke to over the summer, I was in the minority. Everyone I spoke to over the summer said Liverpool are going to win the league. I didn't. I didn't think Liverpool were going to win it. G. Lawrence, I just feel after spending that amount, complaining about lack of squad depth won't cut it with many. But you've got to look at where we've spent it. We've not spent it on the squad, have we? We've not spent it on the squad. We spent it on the first team. Every player that we've signed is to go straight into the first team, because we've had key first teamers leave, and we've had a player die. You've got to include that as context. And you say it's not going to wash, but it doesn't have to wash. It kind of is what it is, mate. That's just how it is. We won the title last year. We've got no right to win the title every year. But if we win it again, then if we've won it once, if we get in the Champions League this year, I think that's been a good year. Personally, in a rebuilding phase, in a transitional phase. Maybe they should have spent it on the squad if Slot felt that was an issue. But I don't think it was. No, I don't think it was an issue. I think he looked at the squad and thought, well, that's a pretty solid squad. And I think most Liverpool fans thought that at the time. But then at the minute we've been exposed by Alisson being out, Jones being out, Gravenberch being out, McAllister being out, Frimpong being out, Isak being out. We've had all these injuries all at once, and that as a result has meant we've had to start players like Rio Ngamoa and Andy Robertson last night at left back. So the squad size and the squad quality is an issue short term, because when you sign young players, inevitably they're not going to come in and be ready straight away. It's only when results don't go his way it becomes an issue for him. Too many changes in one hit, says Paul. But do you know what? I think he didn't make any changes at all last summer. Didn't make any changes at all. And in an ideal world, I think we would have kept certain players, wouldn't we? We would have maybe kept players like Elliott and Kwanzaa and players like that, and Tyler Morton. Tyler Morton is playing for Lyon and ripping it up in Ligue 1 and playing in Europe for him. Jarrell Kwanzaa the same. Harvey Elliott played in Europe for Villa the other week. Like, these are players who would have been on our bench and maybe started last night. They're big difference makers. So the fact that we had to get rid of those in order to bring in, Kirkes, Ekatike, Isak, players who hopefully will be part of the Liverpool team over the next 7 or 8 years, to me, that's a gamble that you take. And everyone's got 20/20 hindsight, haven't they, after the fact? So it's easy to say after the fact, well, I wouldn't have done that, I'd have done this. Well, yeah, but at the time you weren't saying that, were you? At the time, everyone was saying what a brilliant, unbelievable summer it's been for Liverpool. And I still think it is. I do still think it is. I still think it's been a good summer for Liverpool. It's just not going to yield immediately. And Arsenal fans have been telling us for God knows how long that Mikel Arteta's building something. He's building something. He's building something. Yeah, well, he's building something. He's won sod all. Arne Slot has spent less than him. Spent less than him last summer. Less than him the summer before. And he's already won a title. With someone else's team, no less. Arteta's got completely his own team, hasn't won a bean. He has to win it this year, Arteta. The pressure's on Arteta. The pressure's not on Slot. Pressure is not on Slot at all. Ham Footy says defence was an issue and they left it light. Should have been Isak or Hugo. See, defence wasn't an issue until we lost Leone to injury. Leone came in and he looked brilliant on his debut, and then he gets a bloody cruciate injury. He's out for a year. Like, that's bad luck. That is bad luck, and it now means that we've only got 3 centre backs instead of 4. Arsenal have 4 centre backs. The result of which is that they're all fit and they can play and they can rotate. Liverpool can't do that now. We've lost a player for 12 months. HGTXV says Leone only played 20 minutes. Can't really say he was brilliant. He played really well. I thought he did all right. And he didn't play 20 minutes. He played the first half as well, didn't he? It was against Southampton in the second half that he got taken out. I thought he did well, Leone. N78, get a real job. I've had a real job, mate. I'm happy. I like this one. Can I not keep this one? I like this one instead. Serie says, I have a lot of cash on Lazio. How's it looking so far? Hey, well, Como have had a couple of big chances. A couple of very big chances in the second half, in the opening 10 minutes here. Lazio have hit the post in the first half. They've got the ball now, but they're not creating an awful lot, I'll be honest. I'm reporting you for tax evasion. Oh, hey, report away, Chief. Report away. HCTXV, a win will boost the mood. KM, what team do you support? Have a guess. Have a guess. I'll give you 3 guesses. HCTXV, I just need to see us win against Villa, man. Please, so much negativity around us at the moment. Don't let it get to you. It's only negativity if you accept that the people who have got negative views actually have a point. They don't. Arne Slot has literally had 9 games. 9. Why are you getting so negative about it? The guy won the league. He's the champion. 9 games in the season. I literally have a day off. There's absolutely no need to be so concerned about it. Liverpool says KM. Hey, you got it, man. What gave it away? All the shirts behind me. HCTXV, I don't like seeing the mighty Reds lose 6 out of 7. Need to turn it round. I know, but it happens. It happens. Football, sometimes you lose games of football that you don't deserve to lose. And the problem we have is that as a fan base, we talk a good fight with You Never Walk Alone and all that stuff. But actually, we're probably one of the worst fan bases around when the dies are down, sort of thing. When the chips are down, rather. When the chips are down and, the manager's getting pelters from the media and the players are getting stick, the Liverpool fans can be amongst the worst for it. We can be absolutely horrific. So all this "you'll never walk alone" nonsense is absolute guff. It's absolute horse shit. You'll never walk alone. You can't say you'll never walk alone and then pick and choose when it applies. So I'm not saying blindly ignore things, but 9 games is not a fair enough assessment of a manager's season when he's brought in a load of players and had a load of injuries, and also we've had a bit of bad luck. We've had quite a bit of bad luck. Leon Bates, what did you think of the Palace game? I thought the Palace game was disappointing, but ultimately it was the team that he picked, and we saw. I think everyone knew, every Liverpool fan knew it before the kick-off that we was lost. The game was lost. It was done. Serie says what lost Slot did yesterday was a disgrace for the cup, for the ones who bought tickets, and to a fair competition. But every Liverpool manager's done that, mate. Klopp did that. Klopp did that in the FA Cup. In fact, Klopp did it in the FA Cup. And if you remember, he went on holiday. He wasn't even on the touchline. Do you remember that? Do you remember Klopp doing it? He put out a team full of kids and went on holiday. And he let our under-21s manager take the game. It's you know, every Liverpool manager has done this, what Slot did last night. Every Liverpool manager has done it. And most of the top managers at different points have done it. Serious, but Klopp won. So then what Slot did wasn't a disgrace then? So you agree that what Slot did wasn't a disgrace because Klopp did the same. The difference is that Klopp managed to get a win. And I think if I'm right in saying it was an own goal, wasn't it? It was an own goal against Shrewsbury. As far as I remember, he won. Yeah, they did. We did win the game. We won the game, but it was with a team entirely full of... It was a team worse than the one that Liverpool put out last night. Obviously, they were playing Shrewsbury. We were playing Palace last night. So, yeah, I don't think you can have a pop at Slot, but not have a pop at Klopp. Klopp did it last time, and he managed to somehow get away with a win. Whereas Slot... You know, he wasn't maybe as fortunate. So at least the subs should have been better. But you say at least the subs should have been better, but if Liverpool put Freddie Woodman on the bench and put Mamardashvili in goal, let's say we put whoever you want, Soberslai or Frimpong or whoever you want to say. Let's say we put whoever on the bench. Put Van Dijk on the bench, right? Put Isak or Ekitike on the bench, right? And they come on to try and help Liverpool win the game, and they get injured, and then all of a sudden we're starting Federico Chiesa up front against Real Madrid and Aston Villa and Manchester City. What would the fans then be saying to Slot? They'd be saying, "You've absolutely... Why have you done that? Why have you done that?" So he's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't. He's literally between a rock and a hard place, and he couldn't win yesterday. He couldn't win. No matter what happened, he couldn't win. If Liverpool go through, he'd have had to do the same thing in the quarter-final. No team ever has ever won 4 competitions and gone the full distance and done the quadruple. The last team that nearly did was Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. We were very close. We were about 150 minutes away from it. We were very, very close to winning all 4. But... you can't do it. You can't compete on all 4 fronts. So inevitably what you have to do is at some point, you have to prioritise the other 3 and hope that your lesser team can somehow mangle you through in the 4th one. It looks as if he's scared of losing to Palace again with the first team. No, I don't think he's scared of losing to Palace, mate. Again, listen, he only lost to Palace in the Community Shield on penalties. We only lost to him in the league in the last minute, the very last minute. It was in the 96th minute. It was 1-1. So last year we beat him, whatever it was, 7-0. Liverpool don't have an issue with Crystal Palace. We don't have an issue with Crystal Palace. Palace have had a good run against us recently. HGTXV just need us to get back to winning ways in the league. It's not much to ask. No, and I'm sure we will. Gee, we're Liverpool. There's no only about it. We shouldn't be losing them matches. But why? That's ridiculous. That's what a ridiculous statement to say that is. Liverpool have lost games of football with our best ever teams. Barcelona with Messi and everything, they lost games of football. So what are you talking about? We shouldn't be losing them games. Great teams lose games of football. It's a fact. It's an absolute fact. You'll always lose games of football. KM says, how would you say Fulham are? They've not a great start to the season, but I think they're all right. They'll be okay. G says, so you think winning 6 out of 7 matches are all good? Well, I'm not even going to respond to that because it's obvious. Did I at any point say that losing 6 out of 7 is good? Come on, mate, grow up. Grow up. Of course losing 6 out of 7 is not good. Nobody's saying that it's good. Paul, right time off, mate. Get on Saturday evening. All right, no worries, Paul. Take it easy. Ian Davis, LFC are losing too many games. Hey, nothing gets past you, Ian. No flies on you. Steve, look at PSG in the Champions World Cup against Chelsea. And KM says, I support them. I can't believe they got to a penalty shootout with Wickham. Grobler, what grows on sheep, Matek? Oh, you've had another go at it. What grows on sheep, mate? It's wool. It's wool, yeah, that's what grows on sheep. Siris, the thing is, give Klopp the squad and they go on an FC Bayern-like winning only streak. Klopp had that squad. He finished third. Klopp had the same squad slot had last year. He finished third. Liverpool smashed it and pissed the league title. I am Crute. My voice is back. First W in my life in over a month. Evening, Ginger. How's it going, man? I am Crute. Have you seen Ten Hag being linked to Wolves? Oh, God, that'd be a nightmare for Wolves. I do think Wolves change the manager soon, though, but I don't think they won't be sacked. They won't be bringing Ten Hag in. I think Corberan's the one to look at. Gee, spending 450 million on a title-winning team and not having one good performance all season is cause for concern. Well, it's a transitional season, and if you look back at other teams when they've done this, Bill Shankly did it. Bill Shankly did it when you've got a top team and you're trying to transition players out of that top team. Like, for example, Mo Salah being one of them. We know that Mo Salah's going to the AFCON. Maybe Slot has had it in mind that, you know, we're trying a succession plan for Mo Salah. We need to get him out of the club maybe within the next 12 to 18 months. So therefore, what we need to do is start planning for him leaving right now. That's what we need to start doing. So spending 450 million, it's not like we spent it on the squad. We spent it on like 5 players. Kirkes to replace the ageing Andy Robertson. Frimpong to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, who left through no fault of our own. You know, Florian Wirtz to replace Luis Diaz, and maybe to shift formation in that sense. And Isak and Ekatike to replace Darwin Núñez and Jota. So again, a lot of these things were against our own. You know, Jota passing away, the club had no control over that. Trent, Diaz, we had no control over these things. Ginga, all good here, dude. First day off after my 4 night shifts. Are you 12 hours? Are you like 4 on, 4 off? I used to do that. 12-hour shifts, they're hard graft them. Gee, look what happened when Souness done it. That was the end of our dominance. Well, yeah, but there's a way to do it right and there's a way to do it wrong, isn't there? Souness did it, and Souness wasn't proven to be a particularly effective manager. He hasn't proven to be a particularly effective manager since then. Whereas Bill Shankly did it, and it took him 3 years. We didn't win the league for 3 years, basically, under Bill Shankly. We didn't win anything for 3 years. He got rid of some unbelievable players, you know, players who had won titles with Liverpool, like Ron Yates and, you know, really top players. And it took him 3 years of getting those players out, and he got so much stick for it. We was finishing 5th and getting, you know, Everton were winning the title and stuff like that. And he brought in players like Steve Highway and Brian Hall and young players out the academy, and it took them time to grow. And it's the exact same thing this time with Arne Slot. But the difference is with Slot and Souness is Slot is a top manager who has won a league title in his very first year. Nobody else has done that, really. It's been a very, very... It's a really, really good start to Slot's career for Liverpool. Nobody's come in and had that effect at Liverpool In certainly not in my lifetime, but certainly not. I don't think in the history of the club really has come in and just immediately taken over a team and just led it to success immediately. Certainly not in my lifetime. Benitez took many years. Obviously, he wins the Champions League in his first season, but certainly not when it came to league success. G, squad has more quality than it's had in a long time, yet we're in this position. The squad does not have more quality. Mate, last night was a prime example of that. We do not have more quality in the squad. I can't believe you'd say that. How do we have more quality in the squad? Look at the team we put out last night. We had 16 available players last night. 4 on, 4 off, 12-hour shift. Hey, mate, you're a man after my own heart. My brother does that still. Mornings and nights, earlys and nights. M15, who we watching, lad? Right up there. I am Crute. Do you think Wirtz just needs a goal and he'll come good? No, I think Wirtz will take some time to come good, and it might be next season before we see the best of him. Yeah. Ginga says things will settle down at Liverpool. I don't think you'll retain the title, but you'll finish in the top 4 easily. I think that's probably what will happen. Yeah, if I'm dead honest, I think we'll probably do well in the cups. Maybe we'll win one, maybe we won't, but at least we'll have a good go in the cups, and we'll finish in the top 4. And I think in a season like this one, it's always likely to be the case. G says Klopp was challenging for 4 trophies with that team before Slot came in. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Klopp didn't win. Klopp won a League Cup in his last year, mate. He won a League Cup, that's it. Won a League Cup, didn't win anything else. Finished 3rd, well off the pace. Arne Slot comes in, wins the title, first year. Same team, exactly the same team. Doctor Who says should have started a mixture of first team and academy. Playing a very weak team against Palace was always going to end up with a thrashing. I think he knew that. Honestly, I genuinely believe that Arne Slot last night played for the defeat. I think he wanted the defeat. I think he wants to be out of this competition. He knows that it's just not possible to play at the level that Liverpool play at in all 4 competitions with the squad that we have right now. It's just not possible. Steve says, Key, sorry, but different type of football between then and now. The game is spoilt by VAR. Nah, listen, mate, still 11 players on a football pitch with a round ball. Still exactly the same. Hey, Mr. Jimmy Bob, thank you for the follow. Cheers for the follow, mate. Jesus, are the reserves, are you serious? Well, no. Listen, we've had Allison out, we've had Frimpong out, we've had Jones out, we've had Leone out, we've had Gravenberg out. We've had Isak out. So we've had those 6 out last night. And the result of the best team we could possibly choose, once you take our starting 11 away, was that team last night. That's basically our start. Once you take our starting 11 out of it, once we rotate, that is the best 11 we could have picked last night that was out, that was fit. There was nobody else you're really putting in. Gee, you're crazy to say we can't compete with this team. I'm not saying we can't. I'm saying we can't compete in all 4 competitions because no team has ever done it. You can't compete in all 4 competitions. It's not possible. You can't play your strongest team and compete in all. To win all 4 trophies, you need a huge amount of luck. You need to not only be an unbelievable team with a massive squad in a really good moment, managed unbelievably well, but you also have to be very lucky. You have to get some really good draws as well. I don't think Liverpool could have played a mixture of academy players and first team last night without risking the games against Villa and Madrid and City thereafter. We've got some huge games coming up in the league and the Champions League, and we need to do better in those. They are the priorities. Liverpool can't. If Liverpool finish outside the top 4, but we win the Carabao Cup, Slot would be getting pelters. I am Crute. We had injuries as well last season. Keane made finals and won the Champions League group format. We did, but it was a very different team, wasn't it? It was Jota, it was Diaz, it was Trent Alexander-Arnold. We had Harvey Elliott to call on, we had Kwanzaa to call on, we had Morton to call on. And these three, even just those three, Kwanzaa, Morton and Harvey Elliott, are now playing European football for other teams around Europe. These are players who were sat on our bench and probably would have started last night. Off topic from Liverpool, it would be so sad to see Sheffield Wednesday going bankrupt. Listen, Sheffield Wednesday will be fine. They'll bounce back. They're a great club, Sheffield Wednesday. I really like them. They're probably my Sheffield team. I prefer the Owls to the Blades. I am Crute. Slot can't blame squad depth though when he broke the transfer record twice in one window. Hang on a minute, hang on. Listen to what you've just said. He broke the transfer record twice in one window, so that's 2 players, right? We sold more than that. We sold a lot more than that. So when you say he can't complain about depth, but he's brought... It's still volume, isn't it? You still need to bring in the same volume. What we've effectively done is we've had to sell Luis Diaz in order to bring in Isak or Ekitike, whichever one you want to point to. But ultimately now, we've got Rio Ngamoa as our backup left winger. Last season, we had Diaz and Gakpo on that left-hand side. Now Rio Ngamoa is our left wing backup. So, yeah, like it's absolutely right to say that depth is an issue for us. Absolutely, it's an issue. Ginga says, having watched the game against Palace, I thought the youngsters gave a really good account of themselves. Lost 3-0, but playing against the full men's team, they did well, barring the result. Well, the first half, I think we did really well. We didn't deserve to be 2-0 down. The second half... Palace deserved to go through. I'm not sitting here saying that Liverpool deserved to get anything out of the game. They didn't. But I thought we gave a good account of ourselves, certainly in the first half anyway. I am Crute. He could have bought 10, 40 million pound decent players. 40 million, you don't get good players for 40 million pound these days, mate. You can't find me 10 good 40 million pound players. Going for the average, just for like a bog standard average centre forward now, you're looking at 50, 60, 70 million. We needed 2 of them. We also needed a starting right back. And I don't think you could have found a better right back to replace Trent than Frimpong. Unfortunately, he's been injured all frigging season. You know, I think if we were looking at left backs, everyone in the world pointed to Kirkes, PFA Team of the Year, but he's 21, he's a young lad. Then you look at Wirtz coming in. Honestly, everyone's got 2020 hindsight. Everyone's got wonderful 2020 hindsight, haven't they? They can all tell you after the fact, oh, I'd have done this, I'd have done this. You're talking out your ass. Remember at the time, you were all saying what a wonderful summer it's been, what a brilliant transfer. Liverpool have won the transfer window. Yeah, I was one of the few who said we wouldn't win the league still. Ollie, how's the game going? I'm enjoying Ghostbusters. There's your clue, Ollie. Oh, this one. There you go. That's the clue right there. Ginga says Wolves wanted 50 to 60 million for Strand Larsen. There you go. And he got the best 2 options he possibly could have got. You're proving our point. He got the quality, you just can't use it. No. He got the quality, first team quality, but not depth, not squad depth. If you lose Luis Diaz, if you've got one season on the left-hand side, you've got Luis Diaz and Gakpo, and the next season you've got Cody Gakpo and Rio Ngamoa, that is a downgrade, isn't it? That is a downgrade. Last season, we had Trent Alexander-Arnold and Conor Bradley on the right-hand side. This season, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold at Real Madrid. We've got Conor Bradley and Jeremy Frimpong, who's been out injured for most of the season. Downgrade. So, you're looking across the pitch, and we've had major issues with injuries. Alexis McAllister's been injured for most of the season. Gravenberch has been injured for quite a bit. Curtis Jones got injured at the weekend. He missed last night. There's a load of players who, unfortunately, we've made the decision as a club. And it might still pay off. I still think it will long term, but short term we're feeling a bit of pain at the minute. We've made the decision to sell some of our fringe players off and have maybe a worse squad, but to have a much better first team long term. And I think that's the right decision. I do think that's the right decision. We've now got Kirkes, we've got Isak, we've got Frimpong, we've got Ekatike, we've got young players. Watch out, Smokey, come on, out. My dog wanted come in and say hello. We've got young players who, unfortunately, they're not able to come in and make an immediate impact. Nath spent the money poorly then, really, for how much you have spent. No, he's not spent the money poorly. He's not spent the money poorly because you can't judge a player on whether or not he has an immediate impact, and that's not... There's loads of players who sign for clubs and don't have an immediate impact. Some of the best players ever to play in the Premier League didn't have an immediate impact, did they? Some of the best ever players, by the way. Gee, well, why can't he win with that quality in the league with them all on the pitch? Well, there's been very rare occasions where we have had them all on the pitch. I mean, very few occasions where Liverpool have had the best team on the pitch. Doctor Who Mania says Forest looking for upwards of 120 million for Elliot Anderson from United. Yep. Hey, listen, we watched the other day. Did you see how bad Carlos Baleba was for Brighton against Man United? They wanted 100 million for him. And people are so critical. They love being so critical. Like I said, this is a strategic decision, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's a strategic decision. You either go and sign young players, right? You sign young players and you accept that they're going to take a little bit of time to adapt. Or you do what Arsenal have done, which is you go and sign players who are ready-made and you put them straight in, but they're about 3, 4, 5 years older. That's the difference in strategy, right? So Arsenal have brought players in to win right now. Liverpool have brought players in who are going to be ready for them and playing maybe consistently over 5, 6 years. And that's the difference. Ginga says, my team bought Sebastian Veron, who at the time was touted as one of the best midfielders in the world. He came to the Premier League and flopped. Hey, and you know what? I cited Veron as well. He could end up being that Wirtz ends up like Veron. He could be. Wirtz could end up like Veron, an undoubted wonderful player. No one disputes that Veron is one of the best players ever. But he just couldn't adapt to the Prem. Angel Di Maria was maybe the same. So yeah, Wirtz could absolutely end up in that bracket. But to say so after 9 games, come on, have a day off. Have a day off. Gee, you're contradicting yourself. He's either spent well and you can't use them, or he hasn't spent well. No, but that's based on the precedent that they need to be immediately successful and immediately working and immediately performing. I'm rejecting that notion altogether. So I'm not contradicting myself. You're contradicting yourself because you're saying it's got to be this or this, and it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. I am rejecting your notion that a player has to be either performing... They have to perform right now or they're a bad signing. That's what you're saying. If they don't come in and perform immediately, they're a bad signing. Which is horse shit, isn't it? Let's be honest. I am crew. Just bring Gomez on and have it more balanced. Szoboszlai started in midfield against Brentford. He got moved to right back, then back to midfield. That's not consistent. Yeah, but he did. That was the right thing. That was the right thing. After Szoboszlai moved to midfield, he got an assist. Again, everyone's got 20/20 hindsight with this stuff. Everyone thinks they're fucking 20... It's so ridiculous. Everyone's got 20/20 hindsight and everyone can look at it and go, well, I would have done this, I would have done that. Yeah, in the moment, no one's saying it. Yo, Samu, how's it going? Good to see you, man. Gee, we can see Wirtz has quality. It's a system. No one is playing well. I'm saying it's not the player's fault. There's no identity to how we play. See, I would completely disagree with you. I don't think it's the manager's fault. And I also don't necessarily think it's the player's fault. I think what we're seeing here is, one, a natural evolution of a number of players coming into a team all at once. As someone in the chat earlier said, I think it was it Paul? I think Paul was who said, forgive me, Paul, if it wasn't you. Paul said, too many players brought in at once. I think if you change a title-winning side by 50%, which is basically what we've done, inevitably you're going to have some teething issues where players don't quite know, oh, is he going to make the run? Is he going to stay? Is he come short? Is he going to go long? Like, this stuff takes time. And when I say takes time, I'm talking like 6 months. At minimum. Like, for players to start to get that, like, telepathy on the pitch, it takes time. It took time for Liverpool before. I don't know why it wouldn't take time again. We've brought in a lot of players all at once, and that's inevitably going to be a problem whenever you bring lots of players all in at once. So I don't think it's the management. I don't think it's the players. I think what we're seeing is two things. One, we've had an issue with lots of players being brought in at once, and that takes time. It's just a part of the evolution of it. Two, I think we've had major bad luck. I think there's some really, really questionable refereeing decisions in the Galatasaray game, the Man United game, the Chelsea game I think was really poor as well. I think there's lots of bad, certainly the Brentford game as well. There's been lots of bad decisions we've had. Not blaming that, but that's certainly an aspect, and also injuries as well. We've made a deliberate strategic decision to go for improving the first team over the second team, and that's what we've done. We've improved the first team long term, and as a result, we've kept the second team maybe a little bit less. We've given the second team a little bit less. Samu says, good to see you too. Love your vids. Cheers, Samu. Demir, hello mate. Rough game yesterday. Nallo, 2 games, 2 red cards. I know he's been bad on it. Poor lad. 2 games, he's played 20 minutes. Oh, it's 16. 16 minutes he's played. He's had 2 red cards. Mike says dreadful excuses these days. Hey, Mike, listen. I don't know who you support, Mike. But hey, you can go back. All managers make excuses. I remember Bill Shankly once said that we shouldn't have played a game against Ajax because it was too foggy. It was too foggy on the pitch, and that's maybe the best manager ever to manage in the Premier League in England. Full stop. So all managers make excuses. And to be fair, it's not always excuses. That's just a really good bit of evidence. To be fair, the fact that we've had that many bad decisions go against us. Mike says Klopp and the wind at Stoke is the greatest excuse. Didn't he say that against Villa as well? Sure, he said that against Villa. Klopp and the wind. Doctor Who vids, Hania says, well, to be honest, Anthony, who was utter shit for us, scored in his opening 3 games and then disappeared for the rest of the season. This is it. And at the end of the day, mate, what we're dealing with here is people who can't deal with social media. So what they're doing is they're logging onto social media and they're seeing people, like from rival fans, doing memes of Slot. And Liverpool fans haven't had to see this for years. We've been so good for years and years. We've not really had to see. We've not really had to take this amount of stick. So what they're doing is, because they're getting stick, they're then pouring it back onto Slot, and it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. What they should be doing is laughing and going, lads, listen, it's short term. It's absolute short term. This is an unbelievable bunch of players. Arteta blaming the ball was pretty funny. Yeah, listen, it happens, doesn't it? All managers make excuses. It's nothing to do with Slot. Arteta did it. Christ Ferguson did it plenty of times. Jose Mourinho did it. The very, very best managers always do. Samu, yo bro, do you play FIFA? I do, mate. Yes, I do. Very rarely though, unfortunately. I've not played it in a good while. I bought this year's. I reckon I've played maybe 3 hours of it in total since it came out. When was it? Over a month ago. I've maybe sat down and had a few hours of it, but other than that, I've struggled to get time on it. Mike says Ten Hag sacked by Leverkusen soon after Liverpool's wheels fly off with a bald manager in charge. Imposter. Demir says we miss John Heitinga, bring him back. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think we've got to acknowledge how difficult the Diogo Jota passing is as well. No one seems to want to talk about that. That's a real problem. Liverpool losing Diogo Jota, not just as a player, but also like in the dressing room as a teammate and all that sort of stuff. No one seems to want to mention that. And it is absolutely a factor. Of course it's a factor. If Liverpool had won anything this season after that, I genuinely do think it would have been Hollywood stuff. It would have been movie making stuff. And it was always going to be difficult. In fact, I remember vividly, Liverpool fans saying, this team literally get, like, no, they get the longest leash ever this season. Like, there's no criticism of this team at all this season. 9 games is all it took for people to forget about that. 9 games. In fact, less than that. Less than that. There's less games than that, and Liverpool were already the fans were already turning on Salah. We've had Salah's washed, Salah's legs have gone. There's all this shite that are coming, and it's mostly coming from Liverpool fans, annoyingly. I am Crute. I don't think we can underestimate the Jota situation. The tempo drops when the fans sing his songs and the players have lost their mate. It must be so difficult for the new signings. Yeah, it's tough, innit? Because ultimately, you've got one of them new signings is sat where Jota was in the dressing room. Imagine being that fella, whoever it is. We don't know who it is, but imagine that. Like, whoever was sat next to Jota now sits next to someone else. Like, that's hard. Demir says, it has mostly. He was our defensive strategist. Yes, Jota has made a huge impact. Gee, they should have had a professional therapist in to talk to them. Grief is a terrible thing to deal with. I think they did have. I think they did. Yeah, the club spent a fortune on making sure. I mean, they do. They spend millions on player welfare. So, yeah, psychologists and stuff like that. They'll have had sports psychologists employed by the club all season round who talk to the players. Samu, which FIFA do you play? The new one, FIFA EAFC 26, is it? I am Crude. Didn't they leave Jota's space in the dressing room? Well, then if that is the case, I don't know what it's like in the dressing room and then in the training ground, but if that is the case, that's even worse, isn't it? Because then you're left with a constant reminder that he's still there. You know, at what point do you move on? You have to at some point move on and get on with the season if you're trying to... if you're trying to get on with things. So that's always going to be difficult. Demir, tried FM26 yet? No, I haven't, mate. To be honest, FM26, I'm not really a footy manager type of player. I'll play it, like, again, if I've got time. It's one of them, like, maybe if I'm going on holiday and if I'm in the airport or I've got a long flight or something like that, I'll maybe play it then. But as a general rule, I don't really have time. I am Crute. I think it's telling that Liverpool and Wolves are both having poor seasons after what's happened. Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think Wolves... How many players that are at Wolves now played with Jota? I don't think there's many that were there, is there? I don't necessarily think that's a coincidence. Or I think that is a coincidence, rather. I don't think Wolves have got too many players who actually knew Jota, to be honest. I could be wrong, but I don't think there's that many. The fans will feel it, obviously, but the manager's changed, all the coaches have changed, most of the players have changed. Whereas Liverpool, it's still felt massively keenly, isn't it, because of the fact that he was in the squad. Well, we're in the 90th minute. How many minutes have added on time here at the end of this one? Because this has been a thoroughly crap game. Demir says, reports coming in Liverpool interested in Gordon. Don't we need defence and a proper defensive midfield? We do, yes. We do need a defensive midfielder, and if Kanate is going, which it looks like it, then, maybe Kanate, we need a replacement for him as well. Matt Doherty is the only one I can think of. Hwang. Was Hwang there when Jota was there? So if I look at the last season that Jota was there, Connor Cody, gone. Patricio, Adama Traore, Ruben Neves, Nelson Semedo, Dendoncker, Moutinho, Pedro Neto, Romain Saiss, Daniel Podenza, Willy Bolly. Is Willy Bolly still there? No, he's at Nottingham Forest, isn't he? Max Kilman, Vitinha, Kajana Herver. Raul Jimenez, Johnny, John Ruddy, Patrick Catroni, Ruben Vinagre. No. None of them. So, no, basically there's nobody still at Wolves. Apart from... Yeah, even Matt Doherty wasn't there. Matt Doherty wasn't there in Jota's final season. Was Hwang there? No, Hwang wasn't. Hwang wasn't there. Hwang came the season after Jota. Hwang might have been the Jota replacement, yeah. Demir says apparently Real interested in a swap deal. Gravenberg for Tchouameni. Yeah, listen, I think McAllister to Real Madrid is a very real possibility. I'll take that. 20. How are we going, lads? Good to see you. We've got 4 added minutes at the end of this one. Just a reminder, by the way, lads, lasses, whoever's watching, I am going to be live tomorrow for Wrexham against Coventry in the Championship. If you haven't yet, please do go over to YouTube, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe. I'm posting videos every day now. I'm live every single day. I'm posting shorts every single day. Please do go and give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't. It massively, massively helps me out. So yeah, please do head over to YouTube. Keith Thomas, Premier League Dad. Give us a like and a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, help me out too. Samu says, yo bro, I got a question, Man City or Liverpool? Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm always going to choose Liverpool. And I am Crute says, are Real Madrid just rebuilding a former Liverpool team? Trent, Maka, Canate. Apparently, listen, people keep telling me Canate is dreadful, but Real Madrid don't sign duff centre-backs, do they? Pisa with the ball in. Can they win it at the end here? No, and now Lazio on the counter-attack. Hey, they've got a chance here, Lazio. They're streaming forward. Guendouzi, give it off. Get it in the box. Oh, claim for a pen. You're not getting that. I am Crute. They did sign Woodgate to be, but Woodgate was a really good defender. Mate, Woodgate was brilliant. I don't know if you remember Jonathan Woodgate. Woodgate was like, he was in the Ledley King bracket of, if he wasn't injured, he was unbelievable. But he was just always injured. Right, I think the ref is about to blow up here at the Garibaldi in Pisa, and it's going to be 0-0. Pisa 0, Lazio 0. One of our first 0-0s of the season. Oh, hey, Maurizio Sarri's happy with that one. Gilardino shaking his hand there on the touchline. Right, I will be back. I will be back tomorrow night for Wrexham and Coventry. Thank you, everyone, for your time in the live tonight. I hope you have a lovely night. Hope you have a lovely Thursday night. And I'll be back tomorrow, Friday, for Wrexham against Coventry. Take it easy.